Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to the June 3rd, 2025 Board of Adjustments meeting. Just so everybody knows, this meeting is being recorded. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. April, can we take roll call?
Absolutely. Chair Eggline is absent. Vice Chair Tholt.
Here.
Commissioner Shurtleff.
Here.
Ms. Beckwith. Here. Mr. Top.
Here.
We have a quorum of 4 members present tonight.
I will just make a note, but being only having 4, that it does need to be a unanimous decision for all board action tonight. So everybody knows. Did anybody take a look at the meeting minutes from May 6th?
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes from May 6th, 2025.
Second.
Having a second, I have a vote for approval of the meeting minutes from May 6th, 2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous decision, the meeting minutes for May 6, 2025 are approved. Mr. Holland, you or Travis gonna help us out tonight with the first one?
Thank you, Board of Adjustment members. Tonight we have 5 variance applications for your consideration. Pursuant to Section 1155C of City Code, to approve a requested variance for a new building or portion thereof, the Board of Adjustment shall consider the following standards and find as follows. The variance will not create a significant risk to the public health, safety, or general welfare. The variance will not significantly reduce or impair the peaceful use of existing property or improvements in the vicinity. In strict compliance with the provisions of this title would create unnecessary hardship or practical difficulty. In evaluating the standards above, the Board of Adjustment may consider the following factors. Special conditions and circumstances that are unique to the applicant's site, the height, location, or dimensions of existing structures located on the site or in the vicinity of the site, whether there is a prevalence of nonconformities in the vicinity of the site that are similar to the variance requested, the subsequent imposition of zoning restrictions creating nonconforming lots or parcels, whether a literal interpretation of the provisions of this title would deprive the property owner of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties similarly situated, the extent to which the hardship or difficulty results from the actions of the applicant, and whether granting the variance requested will confer an unreasonable special privilege to the subject property. Section 1155F of City Code states the following. The Board of Adjustment may impose conditions to minimize adverse impacts that the variance may have on the public health, safety, or general welfare. Any approval that includes conditions is subject to the terms of those conditions. These may include, but are not limited to, a time period in which the proposed structure shall be completed, or other conditions necessary to mitigate adverse effects. It is the recommendation of the City Attorney's Office that staff does not make a recommendation to approve or deny. And Montana law states the Board of Adjustment has authority to consider, upon appeal in specific cases, such variance from the terms of the ordinance as will not be contrary to the public interest, where, owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance will result in unnecessary hardship, and so the spirit of the ordinance shall be observed and substantial justice done, as Montana Code annotated 76-323. On a motion to approve a variance, the following conditions are recommended. For all items tonight, that would be that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year. Item 1, 8 North Howey. Consideration of a variance from section 1142 to increase the maximum lot coverage in an R3 zoning district from 40% to 46% for a property with the address of 8 North Howey Street, Helena, Montana. Geocode 05188725408030000 and legal description of Lot 22A in Block 55 Major Subdivision, amending the original Helena Town Site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096. Number 2, a variance from section 1142 to decrease the side lot line setback in an R3 zoning district from 6 feet to 2 feet for a property with the address of 8 North Howey Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 05188725408030000, and legal description of Lot 22A in Block 55 Major Subdivision, amending the original Helena Town Site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096. And variance from section 1142 to decrease the front lot line setback in an R3 zoning district from 10 feet to 9 feet for a property with the address of 8 North Howey Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 05188725408030000, and legal description of Lot 22A in Block 55 Major Subdivision, amending the original Helena Town Site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096. The reason for these variances is to construct a covered deck at the front entry of the residence. Here is the zoning map. You can see this area of Howey Street in Ming was developed uniquely, we'll say. The area where the alley is shown there is the correct platted location of the alley. Almost every house on the block has some degree of encroachment into the alley, with the functional alley having been established further west. And because of this, all these lots have undergone at various times amended plats for boundary line relocation to try and fix some nonconformities of encroachments between the properties, and encroachment agreements have been filed throughout history with the city for the portions of the structures that are within the platted alley right-of-way. History of applicable permitting action. The earliest permit on file is from 1941 to construct a garage. As stated in 1994, encroachment agreements and boundary line adjustments were done throughout the block to correct nonconformities as much as was possible. In 2004, a variance to increase lot coverage for a proposed 2-story structure was granted. That addition was never constructed. Miscellaneous permits from 1949 through 2023 for re-roofing, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and fire damage have been issued. And earlier this year, the deck portion of this project was permitted. So here's the site plan showing kind of the non-conforming nature of the building and how the house is not parallel to the street, so that the deck does conform on its northern edge to the setback, but on the southern, it is decreased along with that side setback is a little tightened as you move forward towards Howey Street. Here is the plat from 1994 when the block was adjusted. You can kind of faintly see where the previous lot lines were and how far off that block had to be adjusted to make it work. Here is the existing deck that was permitted. The footings were extended up for this purpose, for installing a roof if this variance is granted. And here is the southern edge of the property showing its proximity to the property line. Here is looking north and south along Howey, showing the general character of the neighborhood. You can see the houses are kind of street fronting throughout the block and are fairly tightly spaced. There are throughout the block the adjacent property to the north, various garages further north, as seen in those top two pictures in that lower right photo, do have similar decreased setbacks. And the picture on the lower left is showing where the alley has been, is functionally used, with the actual location being on the other side of those power lines that you see. Purpose of these variances, this variance will serve the following purpose: to allow construction of a porch on an existing non-conforming property. As stated, historic development of the block has created numerous nonconformities in front, side, and rear setbacks, as well as encroachments into the platted alley, and to exceed lot coverage on a smaller lot. City comments. Building responded with, where the porch is proposed within 5 feet of the property line, 1 hour fire resistive or heavy timber construction is required, and that permits are required for all work. Engineering, fire, public works, and transportation provided no comment. As of today, we have received no written comment for this item. Are there any questions for city staff at this time?
Mr. Holland, I have a question. Is the trigger for the variance due to the roof construction? The deck itself would have been okay since it's lower, or what's?
Mr. Top, the initial trigger was for the lot coverage. We did not have the full site plan from the surveyor until later on. We had received dimensions and such from the builder that had located the property pins and had given us dimensions coupled with an existing encroachment survey that we had as part of the building permit is what we worked with to grant the deck permit. The encroachment survey, though, was later found to have been incorrect in so much as it showed the house as being square to the street and a little further from the property line. So yeah, the deck would have required the same process, but the information that we had at that time contradicted what we had later.
Okay, understood. I was just wondering since it looked like it had been approved previously.
Any other questions for Mr. Hall? Appreciate it, Kyle.
Thank you, board.
Does the applicant have anything they'd like to present to the board?
Howdy, my name is Jeff Feiss, F-E-I-S-S. And I'm the applicant. Not much other than one of the reasons, in addition to those that Kyle mentioned or Mr. Holland, is that the front stoop of the house leaks. The house is built in 1905 or earlier, so it has a dirt foundation, and a leaky front stoop is not good for the foundation. So there's not only aesthetic value to the house, and we've received several compliments on the improvements, but there's also structural, physical infrastructure value to the improvement as well. So we hope you approve this. Thanks.
Any questions for the applicant before we?
Mr. Feiss, I have a question. I was wondering what type of roof are you planning to put on there? As far as, is it going to be a flat roof? Is it going to be shedded one way?
It will be,
Gable?
sorry, Mr. Hall?
Pop.
Off.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think we're planning on a similar, a sloped roof on it, fire resistant, probably metal roof. So it will have some slight grade, not as graded as the roof to the house, but it will have a slope to it.
So sloping towards the street?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? I appreciate it very much, Mr. Feiss. Any public comments? Come forward.
Just press the button there at the mic.
John George, George. I live at 12 North Howie. First of all, I want to point out that I was the one that paid for that resurveying in 1994. We did want to fix the alley. Only one that stood in our way was the city of Helena. Every person was on board. It was paid for. It was platted. It was sent to you, and the city of Helena resisted it. I don't know why. So the fact that he's asking for 46% was a problem created by the city of Helena itself. Okay? So, but that isn't my issue. I live right below him on that street. I don't have a problem with the deck. I don't have a problem with a covered deck. What I would have a problem with is if he was allowed to enclose that in any way. And the reason for that is I have a window that looks straight up Howie Street, clear to the end of Howie Street, because Howie Street curves. And if he enclosed that deck, he will block my view because his deck sticks out way further than mine. So as far as the deck, I don't have a problem. As far as the roof, I don't have a problem. But if you're putting anything more than a railing on, so what I'm asking is can he enclose that deck at any time later on, or somebody else? Because if he can enclose it, I'm 100% against it. If he can't enclose it, I'm all for it.
That's not what is in front of us tonight. What is in front of us tonight is the deck itself, the coverage, and the variance for the lot lines. That what happens from there is out of our peer view. It would be within the building permit itself.
Does it take a special permit to enclose it? Does it take a variance? I mean,
It takes a permit for sure. Once the variance is put in place, it takes a building permit.
that's it. Is there a way to stipulate that he can enclose it later on?
We do have the ability to make stipulations.
Okay, that would be my request.
We'll take it under request for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate it, Mr. George. Any other public comment? Any public comment online? April?
If you are online and would like to make comment on this item, please raise your hand now. I have no hands raised.
No more public comment. I would open it up for board discussion.
Vice Chair Tholt, I'll open up the board discussion. I don't have any issues with these variances. I think the shape of the lot and kind of the decreasing nature of the the lot size and also the orientation of the home and its existing condition it allows me to be on board with this. Also, the setbacks are already he's already within 2 feet on the one side, within 9 feet is on the front, but that's I think a condition due to the existing lot line being not parallel with the home. So I'm in favor of it.
I am also in favor of approving all 3 of these variances. I don't have an issue with them, mostly because this is an odd section of Helena, which, as Mr. Holland pointed out, has been surveyed and resurveyed, and even recently, surveys were proven to be incorrect, which is no fault of the applicant. and they are doing the right thing by being here and asking for these variances. I do think we should consider the stipulation that the neighbor has suggested.
Vice Chair, thank you. I'm in support of all three variances as well. It is kind of an interesting area of town, but happy to support this as well. And with regards to the variance, I don't know if we've got legal folks here, if that's something we're capable of doing on this. I'd like to get clarification for the request for a stipulation, if that's possible.
One thing is, I wouldn't call it a stipulation, I would call it a condition, but we've done in the past, but I will definitely lean on our legal counsel that we now have.
Thank you. Yes, I believe you can condition the variance on this.
Thank you. Vice Chair, can I have a follow-up real quick?
Absolutely.
Can I ask the applicant, Mr. Feist, are you intending to enclose that deck? Or is that part of the plan?
Mr. Sherliff, no, we're not currently planning to do that.
Thank you very much.
I'm in full approval of all three of these variances. I guess we can put the condition on, it would relieve Mr. George's concerns for this, and we can we can go forward. I think.
I do have a clarification question for city staff. I know that a building permit was already issued for the deck. Is a new building permit going to be issued upon approval or denial of this variance request? Or is it just being revised and this condition would be attached to the revision? How does that function?
Thank you, Board. So the initial building permit that was applied for was for a covered porch. We noted in that we accepted the deck portion, but not the roof portion at that time. I will have to clarify with building as to whether we would be able to amend the existing permit or if it would require a new permit. I know from what was initially submitted, there will have to be revisions made to meet the building department's comments regarding the fire resistive construction, because that was not included in the initial building permit, and they will not approve the secondary part without that being part of the drawing set.
Thank you. So would a perhaps revised condition be better stated as a building permit or revised building permit must be obtained within 1 year for these variance requests?
I don't know if it needs to be stated or revised. It would still be a building permit for this portion of the project because this has not been permitted yet.
Thank you.
Anything else from the board? I would take a motion.
I'll move to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to increase the maximum lot coverage in an R3 zoning district from 40% to 46% for a property with the address of 8 North Howey Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 05188725408030000, and legal description of lot 22A and block 55, major subdivision, amending the original Helena town site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096/E, with the following condition that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year, and that this approval does not include enclosure of the porch.
I will second the motion.
Having a second, any further board discussion? Seeing none, I would ask April for a roll call.
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion passes.
I'll also move to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to decrease the side lot line setback in an R3 zoning district from 6 feet to 2 feet for a property with the address of 8 North Howie Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 051887254 08030000, and legal description of lot 22A and block 55, major subdivision amending the original Helena town site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096/E, with the condition that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year, and that this approval does not include enclosure of the porch.
I'll second the motion.
Having a second, any further board discussion? Seeing none, April, can I get a roll call?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries.
I would like to make a motion to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to decrease the front line setback in an R3 zoning district from 10 feet to 9 feet for a property with the address of 8 North Howie Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 05188725408030000, and legal description of lot 22A and block 55, major subdivision amending the original Helena town site, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as shown on plat filed under document number 516096/E, with the following condition: that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year, and that this approval does not include enclosure of the deck.
Second.
Having a second, any further board discussion? Seeing no further board discussion, April, can I get a roll call?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries.
I thank you for your time tonight, Mr. Vice. Good luck with your project. On to the next one.
Good evening, board members. Our second item tonight is 703 Cherry Avenue, with the consideration of a variance from section 11-4-2 to reduce the side lot line setback from 8 feet to 5 feet for a property with the address of 703 Cherry Avenue, Helena, Montana 59601, the geocode of 05188819435010000, and the legal description of the west 10 feet of lot 16 and all of lots 17, 18, 19, and 20 in block 15 of the Cambridge addition to the city of Helena, Montana. Reason for the variance this evening is to construct a new storage shed on the southeast corner of the property. Here we have the zoning map. To the west, we have Bill Roberts Golf Course, as well as a mobile home park in the R3 zoning. To the north, east, and south is all R2 residential. History of applicable permitting action: August 1960 was the earliest building permit on file for the home's construction, and various permits for electrical, plumbing, re-roof, etc. were approved from 1974 to 2023. Shown is the proposed site plan, with the southeast corner showing the proposed storage shed with a 5-foot setback on the east side and the 8-foot setback on the alley. Shown here is the plat. Top two images are of the front of the home. The lower two images, the bottom left image is showing where the proposed storage shed will go, and the bottom right is showing the neighboring storage shed. Surrounding area buildings consist of homes ranging from early 1900s to mid 1900s. And shown here is another storage shed in the top left image that's close to the alley. And then another storage shed in the top right image as well, close to their property line. To the top right image, we have an image or a view looking to the west, Bill Roberts Golf Course. And the bottom right image is just showing Gold Avenue to the north. Purpose of this variance is to allow construction of a shed within the side setback. Proposed location is similar to others in the vicinity of the neighborhood. Allows the property owner to maintain existing concrete walkway in the backyard, and the applicant states the proposed location was chosen to minimize visual impact to the neighboring property, specifically the view of Mount Helena. City Department comments. Building Department had a comment of the structure greater than 200 square feet in area requires a building permit from the City Building Division in accordance with current International Residential Code. Complete construction documents shall be submitted to Building Division for review, approval, and permits. Structure located at least 5 feet from property line does not require fire resistive rated construction. Although these comments are listed under recommendations, each item is a condition for the project. Engineering, Public Works, Transportation, Planning, and Fire had no comment. As of Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, no public comment has been received. Are there any questions for city staff at this time?
I did have a question for city staff. I saw in one of your photos that there was a telephone pole pretty close to where that shed would be. I just wanted to verify that the wires leading from that pole were not like, there wasn't an easement there. It was just serving the house and not like an actual, I think there were earlier photos perhaps, right there in the bottom left. Yes. So the wires going from that pole, there's not like an easement for Public Works there, correct?
Thank you for the question, Board. Ms. Beckwith, I did not see, when looking at the plat or any other documentation, I did not see an easement for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Goodrich? Appreciate it very much, Travis. Does the applicant have anything they'd like to present? Is the applicant on online?
I believe we have the applicant's representative online, Wes. Just a minute here. Go ahead, Wes.
Wes, you have anything for the board? Going once, going twice.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, he's
He's trying?
trying. Yeah.
All
just
right.
A minute here. Wes, we're having some technical difficulties. Just a minute.
Okay.
Not us.
Not us. Never. It should be. Wes, can you try again?
Testing 1, 2. Can you hear me?
We still can't hear you for some reason.
Let's see here.
Can you try again, Wes?
Test 1, 2. Let me change my speaker.
So we can see you in closed captioning.
Okay, can you hear me now?
So we can go ahead and try that.
Okay. You can hear me right now, is that correct?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. I have nothing further to add. Mr. Elford wanted to show up. I don't know if he was able to. He was going to do it through Zoom, but I just wanted the board to know that I'm here if they have any questions, and I'll try to answer those. I'm his representative. I work with the company that is building the structure, or will build the structure to put in as that storage shed. Help our customers do permitting. So that's why I'm involved.
Any, I appreciate it, Wes. Any questions for the applicant from the board?
Vice Chair, I have a question. I was curious if, I know there's no public comment, but I was just wondering if the applicant has discussed his project with the neighboring impacted property.
Yes, he has. That's why the variance is being sought.
Is
you
the
able to
variance
copy?
being sought because the neighbor had complained about this, or is the neighbor on board with the lessened setback?
Yeah, the neighbor's on board with that. That's why he's doing that, is to help the neighbor out.
Understood. Thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions for the applicant from the board? Seeing none, I appreciate it. Wes, any public comment in the room? Any public comment online for this?
If you wish to make public comment and you are online, please raise your hand now. I have no hands raised.
Seeing no public comment, I would open it up for board discussion.
Vice Chair, I'll start out. I have no issues with this. The applicant is doing the right thing by working with his neighbor and requesting a variance in order to appease his neighbor and ensure his neighbor has the view of Mount Helena he so desires. I am in full support.
Vice Chair, I'm in support of this as well. I appreciate the applicant doing the due diligence, going through talking to their neighbors, going through the variance requests, and I'll be supporting this. Thank you very much.
Vice Chair, I would agree with the other board members on this.
I gotta ask one question to city staff that I forgot to ask. Is this shed under 200 feet, so it's not gonna require a building permit?
The shed is 12 by 28, so over 200 square feet.
Okay, so it will require a building permit, so making
Correct.
the condition of a building permit is. Yeah, I'm in favor of this. My comment is I appreciate the applicant coming to the board and doing the right thing, because obviously there's a lot of sheds and structures that are just put into place without this, so I appreciate that.
Vice Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to reduce the side lot line setback from 8 feet to 0 feet from 8 to 5 feet for a property with the address of 703 Cherry Avenue, Helena, Montana, 59601, the geocode of 05188819435010000, and the legal description of the west 10 feet of lot 16 and all of lots 17, 18, 19, 20, and block 15 of the Cambridge addition to the city of Helena, Montana, with the condition that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year.
I'll second the motion.
Having a second, can I get a roll call vote? Abram?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries.
On to item number 3. Thank you, Wes.
Item 3 this evening is 1001 Madison Avenue. Consideration of variance from section 1142 to reduce the side lot line setback from 8 feet to 5 feet for a property with the address of 1001 Madison Avenue, Helena, Montana 59601. The geocode of 051-887-251-370-10000. 10000. That was a correction. And the legal description of the west 1/2 of lot 6 and the south 11 feet of the west 57 feet of lot 5 and the south 30 feet of the east 18 feet of the west 1/2 of lot 5 and block 11 of the Hauser addition to the city of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana. The reason for this variance is to relocate a garage to allow for more yard space on the neighboring property to the north. Shown in the zoning map, north, south, east, and west is predominantly R2 zoning. Not shown in the zoning map is one block to the east is B2 zoning. History of applicable permitting action was 1940 was the earliest building permit on file for the building construction. Various permits for electrical, plumbing, re-roofing, et cetera, were approved from 1987 to 2021. Shown is the proposed site plan. The original location of the single car garage was to the north and is proposed to move to the south. Shown here is the plat. Here is the existing site, top 2 images showing the front and side of the home. Bottom 2 images showing the driveway leading up to the single car garage proposed to be moved to the south. These are the images provided by the applicant of the rear of the home. So in the top left image, you can see that separate structure is pretty much a storage shed that was attached onto the single car garage. And so to the west of that is the property line currently. So essentially it has a 0 feet lot line setback. And then the image to the top right is showing the fence where the proposed rear of the single car garage is going to be placed. Also wanted to mention the close proximity of that current single car garage to the neighboring property to the north, as seen in like the top left image. Surrounding area buildings consist of homes built from late 1800s to mid 1900s. Purpose of this variance is to move the existing detached garage to a safer distance from the neighboring structure, decreasing fire hazard risk, and improve 2 side lot line setbacks, and increase the usable area of the neighboring property to the north. City department comments. Building department, if the rear of the garage is in line with the longer north property line but east of the jog of the property line, no fire resistive construction will be required on north side of the garage. But if the garage is placed more to the west and rear of the garage is constructed within 5 feet of the north property line, 1 hour construction will be required on north wall. See attached side notes. Building Division 3 permits required for all building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing work proposed on site. Building Division 1, where structure is placed less than 5 feet from property line, 1 hour fire resistive construction is required. Plan indicates garage will be placed at 5 feet from east property line, therefore no rating is required. Current garage has a lean-to attached that extends to the property line. If the lean-to is to be reconstructed, 1 hour construction will be required. See attached site notes. Engineering, Public Works, Transportation, Planning, and Fire have no comment. As of Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, no public comment has been received. Are there any questions for city staff?
Any questions for? Appreciate it, Travis. You did such a good job that we had 0 questions.
Thank you, board. Thank you, Vice Chair Bolt.
Does the applicant want to address the board with any information?
So we have Kayla Johnson, I believe, representing the property owner and the applicant Big Sky House Moving. Kayla, do you have anything that you would like to add?
Is this on us again?
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm not part of this project.
Do we have to select one of those speakers?
I'm sorry, I got the wrong person. Do we have a representative or the applicant? If not, we will have to table this item. I have no hands raised online. There's no one in the room for the record. So we would entertain a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table item number 3. Do I need to read the whole thing off or no?
No, you would not need to
Okay.
read the whole thing off.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Having a second, roll call.
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shurtleff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top.
Aye.
All right, the item is tabled and we will be in contact with this applicant. They were informed of the meeting and they were informed that their presence was required.
Did we just sign ourselves up for a July meeting possibly?
Unfortunately, yes, you may have.
I already took it off the calendar.
Moving on to item number 4, Mr. Holland.
All righty. Thank you, board. This one's going to be a wordy one, sorry. Item 4, 522 Breckenridge. A variance from section 1142 to decrease the side lot line setback in an R3 zoning district from 6 feet to 0 feet for a property with the address of 522 Breckenridge Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 051888312450900000, and legally described as that certain portion of lot number 14 in block number 540 of said town site to the city of Helena, particularly described as follows, to wit, commencing at a point on the south line of said lot 14, 3.5 feet east of the southwest corner of said lot 14, thence running easterly along said south line of said lot 14, which said south line coincides with the north line of Breckenridge Street, 32.5 feet to a point, thence northerly 100 feet, parallel with the east side of said lot 14, thence westerly 32.5 feet parallel with the said north line of Breckenridge Street, thence southerly 100 feet to the place of beginning. A deed to this parcel is recorded in Book 125 of Deeds, page 91. In the east 6 feet of Lot 14, in the west 4 feet of Lot 15, all in Block 540 of Helena Townsite, a deed to this parcel is recorded in Book 174 of Deeds, page 605. The reason for this variance is to construct an attached garage on the side of the residence. That should say east side of the residence, I apologize. 522 Breckenridge Street. Here is the site zoning map. You can see the existing house is pushed all the way to the western edge, and the only real practical spot you can put a driveway is to the east of the house there. There is no alley access on this block of Breckenridge. History of applicable permitting action. 1935 is the earliest permit on file for general repairs. 1952, there's a permit for remodel and back porch, various re-roofing in electrical and permits from 1959 to 2001. And earlier this year, there was permits approved for interior remodel and an interior bathroom remodel. Here is the proposed site plan showing the location of the garage to the east of the existing house. And here is the building section. You can see that it will be shorter than the 1.5 story construction plus basement that the existing house is, and will be more of a flat roof construction with parapet. Kind of down in the lower center of this plat map of the town site of Helena, you can see its location on what was at that time called 8th Street. And here is the existing survey. Here is the existing driveway. The little mudroom there along the house is going to be removed. The construction of that is part of what has contributed to the foundation issues that the applicant would like to address by building a more modern foundation attached to the building. And here is the other side of the property line, just to the east of the site. You can see this portion of that site is vacant at this moment. Just general character of Breckenridge, this 1.5 story to 2 story construction is fairly typical of this neighborhood in this older portion of Helena. And these side lot line setbacks are fairly common. As you know, through this area, most of the houses have been pushed to one side or the other of the properties through historical construction. Purpose of these variances, this variance will serve the following. To work with historic sites, as stated, many of these structures on the block feature at least one non-conforming side setback due to the lack of zoning regulation at the time of construction. To maintain a historic property, the construction of the garage will provide additional structural stability. The applicant's photos, you can see how much they've had to do structural releveling of the house. The foundation is in poor shape. This is a portion of that work to try and essentially maintain this house for the future. And then to create additional off-street parking, as stated, there is no alley access here, so everything is off of Breckenridge. Because of the narrow nature of a lot of these lots, there are limited off-street parking spaces available. And this will increase and lessen the impacts on the neighborhood for this house. Okay. Building had a lot of comments on this. They state, although these are listed under recommendations in the review, each is a condition of the project. Full building permit submittal will be required, whether the variance is approved or not. Permits are required for building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing work on the site. Complete construction documents shall be submitted to the building division for review, approval, and permits. Based on photos within the project record, work has begun on supporting the existing structure. Montana licensed structural engineer shall provide plans and details for supporting the existing structure and supporting of the new proposed addition. Steel pan deck and concrete slab will require engineers' design and stamp details and plans. Building states that no permits have been issued for that scope of work to date, and no further work shall occur without permits. Where the structure is proposed at less than 5 feet from the property line, 1 hour fire resistive wall construction is required in accordance with current International Residential Code. Again, full construction plans, details, and fire rated assemblies will be required at time of permit submittal. Structure on proposed lot line does not allow for access to the exterior side of the wall without approval from neighboring property owners. Building recommends zero maintenance construction materials. And no portion of the new structure shall extend beyond the property line, including footings, and no overhang is permitted with all roof drainage to occur within this property. Engineering, Public Works, and Transportation provided had no comment. Fire concurred with zero lot line, building and fire codes to ensure rated construction. As of today, 7 public comments and support have been received. You all received that at the beginning of this meeting. And with that, are there any questions for city staff at this time?
Mr. Holland, I have a question. If you go back to the site, the survey, just to clarify, the property lines, boundary lines versus property line versus lot line here. So the applicant does own that middle section there, both sides of where that lot line is, or?
Yes, that little section there in between the dash line, the boulder dash line in the solid line to the east, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for city staff? I appreciate it, Mr. Holland.
Thank you, board.
Would the applicant like to present to the board?
Good evening. I'm Rob Evans at 522 Breckenridge Street. My wife recently got a job at St. Pete's, and we came to Helena looking for a building to help, and we found one. This is a good building. We initially got our first bathroom remodel permit, not knowing exactly how far we would take this project, but now I think we're going to be here for a long time. This project's going to be worth doing, and the house really needs it. And I've had some preliminary information with engineering, and we did also, I thought we had been approved for a building permit without the variance. I believe we got approval for that. I don't think I'm out ahead of myself. We've done some leveling and some stabilization in the basement, but we haven't done any expansion at this point. Anyway, all of the conditions from building make sense to me. I don't have any problem with any of those. And I guess if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them about how we're going to go about this. But we've managed wastewater. I'm really trying to keep the best interest of the neighborhood in mind and help with some seismic drag. It'll make a big difference to the structure. Should last another 150 years if I can do this.
Any questions for the applicant on the board?
I was going to make a motion.
I just have a comment. I just appreciate you, taking this on. It looks like a pretty interesting project you got on your hands with the structural stabilization and all that. So,
Come visit
Yeah.
anytime. It's going to be fun.
all right.
I look forward to it.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
I would open it up for board discussion.
Vice Chair Tholt, would you like to
Oh,
take public
yeah,
comment
yeah,
first?
we're gonna take that public comment first, yes.
If there's any public comment online, raise your hand. We have Scott Sherman. Just a minute, Scott, and let me do one real quick thing here. Go ahead, Scott.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you. My name is Scott Sherman, for the record, Sherman. I am the owner of 520 Breckenridge, the house directly to the west of 522. Kind of have a unique situation here in that my partner, Rachel, grew up in 522 Breckenridge Street, and her mother was the owner, single mother of the home. She wasn't able to take, as you can see, very good care of the house for a long time. When Rob came in, he's done some great work on the house already. He's taken us through every week or so, kind of letting us know what's going on and updating us with the work that's been done. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful house. It's an old house, deserves to be maintained and fixed up. And I just wanted to, I also submitted a letter, but I wanted to come here in person via Zoom just to say that I am in full support of this variance, and I hope you do approve. Thank you.
Appreciate the comment, Scott. We did get your letter in our packets tonight. Any other public comment?
I have no other hands raised at this time.
Seeing no more public comment, I would open it up for board discussion.
Mr. Chair, or Vice Chair, I appreciate the thought and the work, and I welcome you all to Helena. And yeah, I think it will be an interesting project. If you're looking for volunteers, you might have 4 up here that might help you out. But what I really appreciate is the effort that went in to do the due diligence, to get feedback from your neighbors, and the unanimous support that we've seen here. So I have no problem supporting this. It seems like a pretty common sense, cut and dry project, and wish you all the best on it.
Vice Chair Tholt, I am also in support of this. I definitely think that this is a unique condition with how limited width there is for the driveway and for this addition. And also appreciate the amount of effort that's gone into engaging the neighbors in the process here. So I'm in full support of it as well.
Vice Chair, I'm also in support of this project, and I also appreciate the level of effort the applicant put in, and also that building put into their comments for this application.
I agree. I'm in full support of this. I think it'll be great for the neighborhood and everybody involved. So anybody want to make a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to decrease the side lot line setback in the R3 zoning district from 6 feet to 0 feet for the property with the address of 522 Breckenridge Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 0518831245090000, and the legally described as that certain portion of lot number 14 in block number 540 of the said town site to the city of Helena, particularly described as follows: to wit, commencing at the point on the south line of said lot 14, 3.5 feet east along the southwest corner of said lot 14, thence running easterly along the said south line of said lot 14, which said south line coincides with the north line of Breckenridge Street 32 1.5 feet to the point thence northerly 100 feet parallel with the east line of said lot 14, thence westerly 32.5 feet parallel with the said north line of Breckenridge Street, thence southerly 100 feet to the place of beginning. A deed to this parcel is recorded in the book 125 of deeds, page 91. The east 6 feet of lot 14 and the west 4 feet of lot 15, all in block 540 of Helena Town Site. A deed to the parcel is recorded in the book 174 of deeds, page 605. Pending a building permit must be obtained within 1 year.
I'll second the motion.
Having a second, can I get a roll call vote? April?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries. Just a note, we now have 1001 Madison Avenue on the line. So if you would like to go back to that item, we can.
Yes, we're gonna do item 5 first, and then we're gonna go back to item number 3.
Perfect.
Thank you for your time and application, and good luck with your project.
Item 5, 615 State Street. Consideration of a variance from section 11-4-2 to decrease the side lot line setback in an R1 zoning district from 8 feet to 1 foot for a property with the address of 615 State, Helena, Montana, geocode 0518888. 31111230000, and legal description of lot 4A of the amended plat of all of lot 4 in block 539 of the Helena Town Site. In the west 14 feet of lot 7 in block 539 of the easterly addition to the city of Helena, filed under document number 318343, records of Lewis and Clark County, Montana. Reason for this variance is to remove an existing non-conforming shed and replace it with a larger shed for a property in an R1 zoning district. Here is the zoning map. Our projection of the aerial imagery in the GIS is a little off in this area of town, and the property doesn't really cover so much of the neighboring property to the west. The property line is at the fence line. History of permitting action. 1979 is the earliest permit on file for construction of the house. 2010, there is a permit for re-roofing. Here's the proposed site plan showing the new location of the shed. It will be approximately right at that 200 square foot line for requiring or not requiring a permit, but it is within the setback. So that is why it is in front of the board this evening. Here is the amended plat. Here is the front of the property. You can see the dirt driveway leading to, in this photo, you can see the existing shed in the background there behind the camper and the boat. Here is the surrounding area context. So this is the upper photo is showing the westerly property line there. You can see how close the neighboring garage or shed is on the western property there, the front State Street. And the lower property is from right around the corner. The treehouse in the background beyond the fence is this property. So you can see the treehouse in this house there. You can see the non-conforming setback of the next adjacent house there. That is a separate garage to the one you see in the photo above. that also has similar non-conforming side setbacks. Department comments, building. No portion of the new structure shall extend beyond the property line, including footings. No overhang is permitted, with all roof drainage to occur on this property. Drainage shall not affect the neighboring property. In accordance with section R105 of the International Residential Code, accessory structures no more than 200 square feet are exempt from permits. However, submittal shall be made to the building division for details of the 1 hour fire resistive construction where it is less than 5 feet from the property line. And then where structure is proposed at less than 5 feet of property line, 1 hour fire resistive exterior wall construction is required in accordance with current IRC. Full construction plans, details, and fire rated assemblies will be required to be submitted for review and approval before starting work. Fire made similar comments about needing to meet applicable building and fire codes, while engineering, public works, and transportation had no comment on this project. As of today, we have received no public comment. And just to restate, the purpose of these variances is to allow construction of a replacement shed. This will replace an existing non-conforming shed. There are adjacent properties with similar non-conformities and other potential areas adjacent to the house, including the east side of the property, may require similar variances just because of the size of the shed. And with that, are there any questions for city staff at this time?
No questions for city staff. Thank you, Mr. Holland.
Thank you, board. The applicant has presentation materials they want to show, so I need to end the presentation for a second.
Does the applicant want to address the board?
Materials, you can just scroll through them.
Oh, cool. Can I just like those images? Like,
Yeah, just scroll.
oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, just.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, board. I apologize for my amateur crayons and glue stick over here. But I guess I didn't realize that there was a better way to submit neighbor permission. So this is a neighbor directly bordering in support, as you can see. And then here is the other two on like a form letter that they've agreed. And just to visualize that. So that line between us, it's kind of odd where I'm on the back of their house and the side of mine. So Pierce, Barnhart, and Lewis have all weighed in support, and they're friends of mine. And then just, that's the shed, and you can see it's just 15 or so feet further out is my intention, so it would look kind of like that. So there's just looking like that way. That's been there since 1980 when the place was built, I presume. So just wanted to keep everything above board. Tiny little house. I've got 2 kids, just need more space. And I guess, hope this doesn't complicate things, but if it did, I wanted to get this far before I shopped options like putting a new shed in place or building one proper with a foundation that may exceed the 200 square feet. And if it did, obviously permitting and all that being considered. So thank you.
Any questions for the applicant from the board? I guess though, mine is more of a comment. I guess, and a question for the applicant is what we're approving is going from 8 feet on the side lot to 1 feet. If you did do a foundation everything else, that would not change. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to lock you into this variance, which means you could only go that 1 foot from. So that is what you're looking for.
Yeah, and honestly, I just thought 1 foot sounded a better sell. I
Sure.
could use all 11 feet that I have, but for whatever reason, that just seemed like a more conservative sell to you guys.
Yeah, I don't
With
have a,
drippage or whatever, I guess, I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that. I just want to make sure it fits your needs. So
Yeah.
anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Seeing none, any public comments?
If you wish to make public comment, please raise your hand at this time. We have no hands raised online. And for the record, there's no one in the room to give public comment.
Having no public comment, I would open it up for board discussion.
Vice Chair, I support this straightforward project.
Vice Chair, I do as well. Appreciate the applicant being here tonight.
I'm also in support.
I am also, I appreciate the due diligence that the applicant is doing. And yes, this variance allows you to be able to do whatever you want. You just got to go through the building permit process. So I would look for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to decrease a side lot line setback in an R1 zoning district from 8 feet to 1 foot for a property with the address of 615 State Street, Helena, Montana, geocode 0518831111230000, and legal description of Lot 4A of the amended plat of all of Lot 4 and Block 539 of the Helena Town Site and the west 14 feet of Lot 7 and Block 539 of the easterly addition to the City of Helena, filed under document number 318343, records of Lewis and Clark County, Montana, with the following condition: that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year.
I'll second the motion.
Having a second, any further board discussion? Seeing no further board discussion, April, can we do a roll call vote?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shirtliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries.
Good luck with your project. Do we still have the applicant? for-
We do still have the applicant for 1001 Madison Avenue. If you want to pull the presentation back up to that spot.
No, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we need to make a motion to on-table this. Can I get them?
I will make a motion to on-table item 3 on today's agenda.
Second.
Having a second, I would have a vote for on-tabling item number 3. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We will wait a second while city staff brings up item number 3.
Do you need some help, Travis? And Shauna, go ahead if you'd like to address the board.
Shauna, can you hear us?
Hello?
Shauna,
Hello?
We can hear you, Shauna.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Shauna, this is your opportunity to address your board on your application. If you have anything further you'd like to add.
I don't have anything to add, just to apologize and thank you all for untabling the application.
Does anybody on the board have any questions for the applicant?
Vice Chair Tholt, I have a question for the applicant. Ms. Nelson, just curious if there's a plan to do a boundary line adjustment, if that's the kind of reason for the adjustment to the location of the garage. Just looking at kind of the unique shape of the property and the reasoning for moving the garage to give more space to the neighboring property.
Yes, that is the plan. We purchased this property 1001. Our residence is 1009. So we purchased that property last summer and we want to relocate the garage to so that we have a yard in the back and change that.
And possibly build an addition on this house sometime in the future. We're getting kind of old and we're tired of running up and down stairs in this house.
Great, thank you.
Any of the other questions for the applicant? Sounds like their neighbors won't are in full approval of this moving. Seeing no other questions for the applicant, I appreciate you presenting, Ms. Nelson. I would open it up for public comment.
We only have the applicant online, and for the record, there are no members of the public in the room.
Having no public comment, I would open it up for board discussion.
Vice Chair Tholt, I appreciate the effort that they're going through to make the lot lines more logical. I do think the one caution I have is if they do make the boundary line adjustment, if the location that they're putting the garage would then be non-conforming in that case, I think it would go through the process of the boundary line adjustment. They might be back here potentially. So just kind of bringing that up for discussion. It looks like if they were to, I don't know how far they're bringing that up from that notch or that jog in the lot line. So I don't know if you can pull up the kind of plan for us to look at. Yeah, so it looks like the back of the proposed location is still going to be kind of in line with that curb. I don't know if that's the property line. I'm assuming it is.
Board, may I comment?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
So yes, in the application, there was no discussion of in the future moving the boundary line. If that was discussed, I feel like this would have been a different process. Therefore, that rear, the rear of that single car garage is going to be on a 0 lot line if that other lot line is moved up to the south.
Yeah, so I think this is just to bring this awareness to the owner in this case that that's a potential issue down the road. I don't know that it doesn't impact my decision at this moment at all. But other than that, I'm in favor of it. I just wanted to bring that up as a.
Can we bring back the applicant, please?
Just a moment.
That brings up the interesting question. If Ms. Nelson, if we approve this variance going from 8 feet to 1 foot, but your intention is to move that boundary up in line, you would be closer
Yes.
to a zero lot line, not a 1 foot. And then you're
Yeah,
coming,
our intention is to move the property line up so it concurs with the existing property line, as you can see there.
which would be a zero lot line, which, and this is what's in front of us is a 1.
I think what's in front of us, Vice Chair, is a 5. And
Oh,
it's the
you're
side,
100% correct.
and it's the side lot line. So the rear lot line would be the one that would be non-conforming in the future.
To note, Mr. Top, it's a corner lot. So on a corner lot, you have 2 side lot lines
I see.
and 2 front lot lines. So if you do the side lot line, it's going to be on either side there in that corner. So it would be the side lot line and the side lot line.
Okay, so I think from my understanding is we're approving the one side lot line setback, or not approving, but we're reviewing the one side lot line setback from going from 8 feet to 5 feet, and then the other side lot line setback potentially is an issue in the future. But if we are not looking at that at this time, I think it would be just something to let the applicant know that if they pull that forward, that extra 8 feet, then that wouldn't require a variance for the boundary line adjustment later, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at.
I think you nailed it. Ms. Nelson, does that make sense?
My husband's here and we're just looking at each other like, what? The moving company is gonna move. She's the one that put the application in and wrote all the descriptions down. So I'm not sure. We're moving it forward. So
The plan is to move the existing garage forward until there's and then at some point, add the space that garage was sitting on to the 1009 property. So to readjust the boundary line of the 2 properties.
Yep. I think what the easiest thing is for us is we can go ahead and approve this variance, but you're going to be back. If you move that boundary, you're going to be back in front of us.
Yes, that's probably.
So if you approve, so I guess I don't, if you just approve it for what it is right now, then we don't have to do anything else.
So I wanted to speak really quick, Mr. and Mrs. Nelson. So when the applicant came to us with the application, there was no mention. We discussed the moving that lot line up. That was never mentioned in the application, nor were we told to assist or have that in the application whatsoever. Therefore, there was a mistake made in the process on the applicant's side, causing a replication of another variance when it comes to moving that property line forward.
Right, so we'll do that at a future date.
Correct.
Yeah, I think
Correct.
you just come back. I mean, it wasn't a mistake because you will meet code with the way that side lot juts out there. So
Okay.
okay. Now, any more board discussion? That's where we're at.
I guess I had a clarification. Would an additional variance be needed for a lot line adjustment or only if a building permit was required at that point?
A different variance won't need it until they do that boundary adjustment, because that boundary adjustment will trigger them needing another variance because they'll be too close. Currently, with where the boundaries sit, they're fine. They meet code.
But a variance would only be required
If they move the boundaries, which
if
they
move
haven't done
the
yet.
boundaries and a building permit is necessary, which if the shed is already moved under a building permit, it would just be considered non-conforming, correct?
May I, board? No, so a boundary line readjustment cannot create a nonconformity without a variance. So in that case, the condition would be to apply for an amended plat within 1 year, not to apply for a building permit.
I see. Thank you.
Any more board discussion? Could I get a motion?
I'll make a, oh, can we pull up, recommended motion? All right, I will move to approve a variance from section 11-4-2 to reduce the side lot line setback from 8 feet to 5 feet for a property with the address of 1001 Madison Avenue, Helena, Montana 59601, the geocode of 05188-725. 05188-725-1370-10000, and the legal description of the west 1/2 of lot 6 and the south 11 feet of the west 57 feet of lot 5 and the south 30 feet of the east 18 feet of the west 1/2 of lot 5 in block 11 of the Hauser addition to the city of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, with the condition that a building permit must be obtained within 1 year.
Second.
Having a second, any further board discussion? I see no further board discussion. Can I get a roll call vote, April?
Vice Chair Tholt,
Aye.
Commissioner Shertliff,
Aye.
Ms. Beckwith,
Aye.
Mr. Top,
Aye.
motion carries.
No new items. Does that, any old or new business? And the only business I have is we have a July meeting.
We will not have a July meeting.
Any additional public comments?
For the record, there's no one in the room and there is no one online at this time.
So next board meeting possibly will be in August.
I will be in communication as to whether or not we receive any additional applications. So
Fantastic.
potential to have 2 months off.
I would look for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the June 3rd, 2025 Board of Adjustment meeting.
I'll second.
Having a second, everybody in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Aye.